Hello everybody, welcome to Deluxe Collectibles, and today I'm going to be discussing a topic in the LEGO Ninjago community regarding the phasing out of specific minifigure pieces that results in making less accurate minifigures for the actual series, and this specifically pertains to LEGO Ninjago Legacy, so that's what I'm going to be specifically discussing in this video. And the example that I'm going to be using here is for the Zane Legacy minifigure. Of course, the original version of this figure just had the standard yellow flesh tone face, as it should be to make it accurate to that appearance of Zane, of course, in the majority of the Season 1 Legacy sets. And we saw that in Kai's Blade Cycle and Zane's Snowmobile. We saw it in the Monastery of Spinjitzu as well, and in the Destiny's Bounty also. But then there was actually a change that was made in 2021, and the first time we saw this was actually an accurate change, and that was for the Possession set, the one Legacy one that we got, which was Zane's Titan mech, where we saw him rocking his now titanium face. And of course that made sense for that set, but then we actually saw that carry over to some other Legacy sets that are releasing in summer of 2021, or have already released depending on where you're at in the world. And one of those is the Ultrasonic Raider, which actually has Zane with his titanium head, and then also Kai's Fire Dragon as well has Zane with his titanium face in it. So it's definitely really odd that they have that here, and there's been some speculation in the community because of course we don't really get official confirmation from LEGO when a piece is retired or when it's just not in fluctuation in current sets anymore. But I think that the speculation is basically surrounding that Zane's flesh tone face has been retired effectively, and now we only have the titanium head now being used in these sets, which of course would explain why it's being used in Legacy sets where it just doesn't make any sense accuracy wise. And this can be a little bit annoying, especially considering people who weren't able to pick up Zane with that flesh tone face. Of course, now when you get him in this Fire Dragon set, or when you have him in the Ultrasonic Raider, it's going to be inaccurate to his appearance from Season 1, of course, because Zane didn't take on this titanium appearance, of course, until Season 4, the Tournament of Elements. So it doesn't really make sense that we're seeing him in this appearance in these sets, and it kind of provoked me to want to make a video on this, and not just talking about Zane specifically. Of course, that's now just happened, and we just kind of have to accept it as fact now, but I kind of want to talk about my predictions for like future figures, and one specifically that I want to talk about is Cole, because of course with us hopefully eventually getting more Possession Legacy sets, of course I would imagine we're going to see Cole in his ghost form, as of course that was the season 5 when he did turn into a ghost. So I would assume we're going to get to see him in that form in some of those sets, and it worries me just a slight bit, not as much as Zane, because of course Zane keeps that titanium appearance for the remainder of the series up until the current point, of course, Seabound. So we're still seeing that, so it makes a lot more sense that they would just keep that in like fluctuation through the sets, because of course it's going to get used in the current Ninjago season sets. But with Cole, of course, it's a somewhat different case, because we don't see him as a ghost now in the current series. We of course see him back to his regular yellow flesh tone face. So it definitely, I don't think, is as high of a chance. But if we see this being introduced, I would be really nervous if for some reason we saw them retire his yellow tone face. Now I'm just speculating here, of course. This is a very small chance, I would say, that this would wind up happening. It just does not seem like there's really much possibility of this, but I thought it would be interesting to talk about, because I can't think of too many other instances where this could wind up happening, specifically relating to the ninja. But if you know any other instances when this could potentially wind up happening to another character just in Ninjago in general, be sure to let me know down below, because I'd be interested to hear your theories on this, because I don't want to see it happen to too many figures, because then it's kind of going to take away from the fact that these are Legacy sets if we're getting characters that don't even belong from this Legacy moment. So it just wouldn't really make a lot of sense for future sets. But I would say for Zane, it's kind of set in stone at this point that we're just going to be getting him from now on with that titanium face. But of course, for accuracy wise, if you picked up any of the other sets that I mentioned earlier, even another one that I didn't mention is the Spinjitzu Zane set as well, which was a really cheap way to get him with that flesh tone face. So there's definitely, of course, ways to get around it, or just purchase the piece separately on like Bricklink or something like that. But it's just an interesting topic, because I never really think about that too much. I always think that, yeah, of course it's going to be accurate, but then when it's not, it really stands out, I feel. So let me know your thoughts and opinions on this. Did you even notice before seeing this video, or did you just kind of not care too much? I know that might be the case for some people, and honestly for myself, myself. It's an interesting topic to talk about, but I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I'm still going to buy the sets and be just as happy with them because it's such a minor thing in the actual overall set, but still found it interesting to talk about. But thanks so much for watching. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like down below. Also subscribe as well if you would like to check out some of my other content. That would be highly appreciated. So thank you so much. I'll see you all next time, and always remember, keep on collecting.